Hello, this is Ryan from Twin Ports Pickers, also known as the Duke of Digging. Hope you're having an awesome weekend. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of a full-time picker, basically just showing you some cool stuff he picked up during his travels. Also like to educate you just a little bit throughout the video if you're a beginner, someone trying this crazy resale game. I'll always let you know I am an expert and absolutely nothing. But if I can pass on some information that brings you value in any way, that's why I started doing these videos in the first place. If you're a beginner, if you're new to my channel, this is the Picker Palace I'm now in for this time of year, also known as the far side of my garage. Usually spring, summer, and fall, I'm outside spreading tons of stuff outside. I'm just, we're kind of tight in here. I don't get to put as much stuff out, but it's better than nothing. Just still want to bring these videos out as many times as I can throughout the winter, and that is Pickin in the Northland. I was on one property this week up in Chisholm, Minnesota. I was in a hoarder house. How do you know it's a hoarder house? Because you could barely get anywhere. And when you have to take a door off its hinge just to get in the room, I'm in the right place. So it was a fun time. Let me flip this around and show you what I picked up. Right off the bat, you got the Chicago Bulls 1995-96 Eastern Conference Championship towel, and you got the ticket stub. So they were definitely at the game. That was, I think, Jordan's last three-peat. So pretty cool. Candlestick telephone and ring box, and that thing is a working unit. So they called it and it rang. So if you have landlines still in your house, that'd be a fun piece to have. And then that is a really nice, I guess, telephone stand. Drawer down there for your telephone book or all your paper products, folds out, and there is your little seat. So it can almost be used as a desk. Nice little space saver there. Let's see, up here you got the Dad's bottle cap sign. I love soda stuff. That's probably 36 inches. I haven't tried to clean it up. It might clean up a little bit. It's a little rusty, a little crusty, but there's a lot of meat on the bone. Signs are hot. Mid-century modern glassware set, and I liked it because it was on a Lazy Susan. And then these just pop open, and then there it is, your snack. And then you could everybody can have their own snack if they want. Little cool piece if you're entertaining. This is just kind of a drawer, but these Butler brands with good labels like this do really well. It's kind of like that card catalog style. Got the cleavers. Cleavers sell great in the shop, especially something unique like that little bugger back there. And what's cool, had a nice little Zenith stamp on it, if you can see that, maybe not. Just a floor grate. That's kind of you ain't going to be able to see it with the glare, but it's glass. That's a nice cheese preserve. It's got a lot of advertising on it. Really great set of beaver mittens there. Just all custom made, large. These are, tried these on. These are so warm. And this is a large size, probably going to go up to halfway to your elbow. Just some old tickets there, just framed up. I remember the tilt-a-whirl and the merry-go-round, but I've never heard of the Comet or the Fireball. That sounds like a crazy ride. If you heard of those, let me know. I'd like to know where you kind of went to those at. I've never seen those growing up. This is an exceptional piece, man. I know this is a hand-carved. You're not going to see. You got to be in front of it almost, but it's hand-carved. Eagle, got it. The snake holding by his claw there, and just look at it right there. It's just one solid piece of wood. Even when you see the crack there, that's just in the wood. It is just an exceptional piece. I just love that. Then you got another telephone piece. Got the porcelain sign, little 2-footer there. And when you're up on the range, you're going to find stuff like this. It's got to be some type of miner's light. Never seen anything like it, but it's pretty cool. Some type of leather strap. New old stock cards, sports cards, Pokemon cards. They're pretty hot. Always buy that new old stock stuff. Down here, you got the Coca-Cola cooler. It's called a pilot's cooler or an airline cooler, and that is because you're going to find that it's pretty thin, skinny one that goes in between the pilot seats so they can take out an ice cold Coke during the flight. Ball and chains, I find these just about maybe once or twice a year. I love finding them. They're just I just always picture the guy that had this on there. He's not going far, but if you do the crime, you got to pay the time. You got to wear that when you're outside. Just a new old stock skateboard deck, and you just see, you're like, well, what's it to it? I had to flip it over to see the money shot. Look at that. Look at that artwork. Cheech and Chong. Classic. I'll tell you what, look up vintage skateboards sometime, get an education, because there's lots of $1,000 and $2,000 skateboards out there all the time. You find those vintage ones. Just some Star Wars stuff. There's another great piece. That is just an awesome plant stand. It's 3 pieces, so the top and the bottom come off, and it's a solid piece of wood. And you can just see it's got just this great natural wood. Loved it. Marshmallow tins. They're probably some of the most sought after tins. Probably maybe oysters, then marshmallow. I'm sure there's a couple others, but oyster and marshmallow, I'll always be buying those. You'd be surprised at some oyster tins. Pig, cast iron, solid, probably weighs 40 pounds. And I don't know why someone painted it to look like a cow, but okay. Then you got the gold medal crate. You got the number 4 Red Wing butter churn, and a little trivia question, not trivia question, but I'll ask you, do you know what this is called? This is called the Dasher. Now you know. Action figures. You know, I got a bunch in here. Not going to go over them. They're probably in the $5 range, but what is not in the $5 range is anytime you see Masters of the Universe, early He-Man, new old stock and original packaging. If this was He-Man right now, that'd probably be close to $1,000. So always be on the stuff for the action figures from the 80s and the 90s. They are golden. Steering wheel, I just bought it because it was AMC, probably off maybe like a Gremlin. There wasn't many cars they made, and they sold out a while back. Then over here, you just got smalls. This is kind of stuff I don't really show in the summer. So here we go. Stag oil lamp. And I didn't even know that this shade, put a black light to it, that thing just lit right up green. Didn't know, but that's kind of what's going to make that help sell. You know, I don't buy a lot of books, but it was the official handbook of the Minnesota State High School League, 1939. I just was, look at these old football, a lot of Minnesota stuff. Look at that. Yeah, the pictures was kind of sold me on it. Then they got the little native guy, kind of a Black Forest style pipe display. But look at this. This is just a biscuit tin. You ain't going to find no advertising like this in stores anymore. For the grocery store, they'd never have that. A little drawer there for small little maybe watches and jewelry. Then you got the stereo view. Put these cards on. They're kind of fun. A whole box full. And you got the Maiden prints. I don't buy a lot of prints because I don't know anything about art, but this one was pretty neat. Got the grizzly bear charging the guy, looking all tough with his axe, getting ready to swing. Yeah, he's just acting tough. He's got his buddy right there with a shotgun, so it's kind of a fun piece. Got some kitchenware, some primitive back there. I thought this was sterling, thought it was a score. If that was sterling, that gravy boat there would probably be in the $500 range, if not more. But it was U.S. Navy, but it's just plate. So then you got some postcards, kind of war period. You know, this is pinup. This is probably risque for them back then. Look at that. That is probably her parents disowned her after they found out she was in that. But pretty much just bought it because it was a volume game. You know, there's 50, 60 in a pile, but usually I don't even know if they're worth $1 anymore. But that was kind of fun, kind of military, held up here for a short time. And then a couple of fun stacks over there. You know, I'm always buying the license plates. That's a big jar of marbles. We'll find out if there's anything good in there. Then you got the candy mold there for the little bunnies. But, man, it just had a great look to it, too. Cast iron. This is probably not moving right now. I just plugged it in. This is those lamps that, actually, I'll even just show you. These come off here. If I can do this. That spins around, and then it just shows you, like, the waterfall will start moving. And what was crazy is that she told me what she paid for this at an antique shop just a few years ago. That's $425. I told her I wouldn't even probably be at half that in a shop. I price stuff to sell, not to just sit there. It's not for display, but it's kind of crazy. Oh yeah, down here you got that Victor speaker case, Art Deco style. I mean, that could just be sitting in the corner. You don't even need to use that. Don't know if the speaker works, but this is like a little salvage. This is an Atari racing. I just like the steering wheel because I remember this is off pole position. I grew up in Superior, Wisconsin. At age 10, I was at Aladdin's Castle in the Mariner Mall every single day. And I remember when they took the pole position out, they put the, I think it was the Time Traveler back there, and we were just mad. I mean, I can remember that. Still, 40 years later, I'm still thinking about that. If you're my age too, you also remember the Pogo balls. These were hot one year. I just remember everybody had to get one of these for Christmas, and then you just hopped around. This, for a kid these days, they would play with this for 20 seconds if they don't get it. And this one is from 1988. The good old days. In this corner, just a few pieces. You got the Red Star line, just a kind of a print. I don't think it's that old, but it's pretty big. It's probably, I don't know, almost 4 feet. And then you got the Dark Horse Spear with all the tines. Looks like there's about 7, 8 there. And then a primitive, kind of a basket of some sort. But man, it's got the look. It's been around the block. Maybe a Tiger Oak little entryway chair. This is just a 2-tier locking cabinet. If you have a shop and you don't want a big, huge monster bookshelf locking case, that'd be the perfect tabletop one. And then these industrial lights are pretty hot. I do well with them. And you just put them in any position. They just stay there. And then it just kind of went out. Oh, there it is. Got to plug. Okay. Well, we'll get that going eventually. Yeah, there's not a fire hazard. All right. But that is the picks of the week. Yeah, there's some fun stuff here. And this is December now, so I'm never going to complain when you're picking in the middle of winter right before Christmas. You're finding some cool stuff. This was a pretty fun week. It was a great house to be in, too. Perfect time for the winter to find some stuff. Really appreciate you watching. If you say, Ryan, I got better stuff than this, I know you do. That's what I'm waiting for you. Go back to the main page. My phone number is there. You call me anytime. This is not a hobby for me. This is year-round. 4 feet of snow. I've even left my house to go look at some stuff during snowstorms, so definitely call me anytime. Or if you just want to show me some collections, just send me some pictures. I'll tell you what I think. That's what I love doing. So appreciate you watching. We will see you on the next episode.